Hey everyone, I'm your host Rae Irelan, and you are listening to the Soul Aligned podcast, where we help high achieving leaders and driven visionaries do what you love and live your purpose. So welcome to this next episode. We're going to be talking about business intuition and how to really improve it so that way you can be moving forward in your business with more ease and more grace. So, some of the things that I'm going to share today are things that I dive deep into with my clients, because I really believe that in order to have a business that stands out in the marketplace, you need to be able to fine tune and dial in your intuition so that way you're creating something unique that is new. If you'd like. If you don't want to be a copy repeat of everyone else. If you do, this probably isn't the podcast to listen to. But everyone can start a business. There's strategies, there's structures, everyone can do it, you can start it, but only the people that listen to their inner intuition, that inner guidance, are the ones that are going to create something brand new and really create something, bring something to the marketplace, to the world that will shift our realities, hopefully for the better. Again, if you're not here to do something for the better, probably not your podcast. So what we're going to talk about today are just some daily steps, daily tools that you can use to start dialing in that internal guidance so that way you can be making bolder steps in your business and also putting new things out there that possibly the market has never seen before, because we are each brought here with a unique system of our bodies, our personalities, our energies. Then we went through our own unique journeys of our stories of how our childhood was, and then what was it like growing up, into our adult life, into our professional careers. We are all so different. There's no two people that are the same on the planet. So why should business look the same across the board? So when you are starting your business and starting this intuitive journey, there are definitely these tools that will be able to help you just fine tune it so that way you can be even more that unique version of yourself, and also not only experience it on the inside or within the security and the privacy of your own home, but also bring that into who you are being and what you're sharing with the world. So I'm going to share with you 4 tips that I have that really are a non-negotiable when you're wanting to connect with your intuition and use it in your business. So number 1, listen to your body. This means listen to what it wants and what it doesn't want. For instance, listen to what it wants to eat. Listen to when it wants to rest, when it wants to sleep. Listen to when your body is in full gear and it's ready to push through. Our bodies give us these different navigation points, so that way we can understand how we can be most efficient with our time and energy, which is what we all want. Like, we don't want to be just creating a business that's like never stopping and that is taking all of our energy and is a huge drain. The reason why we have our business is to usually create more freedom and expansion in our lives. So when you can dial in this tool of also listening to your body, it may be scary at the beginning when you feel your body say like, hey, I need a break. And you're like, but I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I can't stop. I'm not at my goals. I'm not here yet. Well, the amazing thing is that actually if you take a break at that point, you are more likely to take that space that you need to kind of step away from whatever you're working on and see it from a new perspective. And usually that's the time where something comes in crystal clear. You're able to make exponential movement forward in your business. And it really is also something to help your body, help yourself be sustained to continue moving forward and working. We all have those friends or family members that, push through, grind, and they just kept going and going until they actually got sick. So this is really a preventative measure, so that way you can continue to run your business, to love your business, to serve more people for longer amounts of time, and usually the people that I'm working with, they have a lifelong business. Their business is their mission here on earth. So if that's true for you, you absolutely need to be taking this into account and not hitting your burnout, because you won't actually be able to complete that big vision if your body actually won't keep up with the pace that you're working in. And I think there's this other flip side as well. Sometimes our bodies are ready to go. And I've even caught myself saying, well, I'm supposed to be sleeping, or I'm supposed to be doing this and that. If your body is feeling activated, utilize that momentum and see what's present. So number one, listen to your body. Step number two is to trust your inner voice. And I know this can be a challenging one, but it's something that develops over time. And so sometimes that inner voice will actually not connect to our logical thinking. And when that happens, we need to really honor it. A lot of times, and what we've been taught in schools is like, if it's not logical, then leave it out. I think we're actually missing some really important information and knowledge and inner wisdom by pushing anything that's not logical to the side. So when I'm working with someone and we're developing their business or scaling their business and planning the next launch or whatever it is, we always go into creating space for even what doesn't feel logical. And from that space, that doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily take action on all of those, right? You want to still be strategic and plan things out. But if you can actually open up to all those ideas, something new will come out of it. Also, when you're trusting your inner voice, this is when you might make those bold leaps of faith forward. Any entrepreneur that's successful will tell you there were times where they couldn't see the step on the other side, but they still took that step and the foot landed. So when you can trust that inner voice and know and take those bold, confident leaps of faith forward, that will really help drive momentum. There's a lot of business owners that I also know that don't do that. And they've spent a lot of time in one place in their business because of many fears of what happens, what if the ground isn't there. So what I would ask you in this situation is, well, what if the ground was there and there was something else even more aligned, more exciting on the other side? Would you go for it? So something to think about. As you learn to trust your inner voice, I know it can also be challenging to decipher what is fear and what is your inner intuition. For instance, maybe you're about to hire someone and then all of a sudden this stuff starts coming up and you feel like you're gonna throw up, and you're calling your mom and your best friend and you're like, what should I do? So first of all, breathing and acknowledging what is actually happening, and then taking some time to really sit with yourself and ask, is this my intuition or is this fear? A lot of times we will know immediately. If it's fear, we'll get that funny feeling when we ask that and be like, ugh, it totally is fear. And then you can just ask yourself, like, well, what are you so scared of? Sometimes just addressing it will help you move forward in an easy way. Other times, your intuition might actually be the thing that you do need to listen to. And so it's such a personal decision and a personal process. And the best way that I like to teach this is by starting off small. So you can start with asking yourself what you want for breakfast. Okay, what do I want for breakfast? It kind of goes along with number one of listening to your body as well. But maybe it's eggs. Okay, maybe it's toast. Maybe it's fruit. And a way that you can kind of test what your inner voice is, you can put the two side by side. So say you have a basket of toast, you have fruit right here. You can actually practice in connecting with your inner intuition and say, which one do I want more right now? And then you choose. The reason why I like to do it that way is because it kind of takes the pressure off, right? Like either way, you're gonna have breakfast. Either way, it's gonna be good. Either way, you're gonna be fine. You could always eat the other thing, afterwards. A lot of times I found that we like to wait to use our intuition on the big things. Throughout our day, breakfast, we're not really thinking, we're not registering our intuition and utilizing that muscle. But then a big thing comes and maybe it's about I want to move to a new city. Where do I want to move? If you put all the pressure on that and you just start listening to your intuition on these big things, it might feel a little bit unstabilizing. But don't worry, either way. I've definitely been there and made some big decisions off of my intuition, and either way, still follow through. You take that step, you walk forward, and you learn the lessons. You have the experiences that were meant for you to be able to move forward, to step into your highest self, your highest vibration, and be of the most service. So never stress about making the wrong decision. Step number 3 is take action on your inner guidance. So I was starting to go into it a little bit in that last piece of like, say I want to move. Should I move to New York or should I move to Los Angeles? I don't know. And so as soon as you do get that hit and it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, a lot of people actually stop there. They're like, I said I was going to do it. And then it's crickets, chirp, chirp, chirp. And so the third step is actually taking that inspired action, moving forward in that direction. Once you get the hit, do it, even when all of the fears come up. A lot of times that's what will happen is our imaginative mind, connects with a vision, connects with a future part of ourselves or a future endeavor or something like that. And then we get a glimpse. But what happens is then the primitive mind kicks in and it takes over and it says, but that's going to be terrifying. You're going to be in so much danger. You're not going to have safety. You need to hide or run or fight against this. And it's so real. Our brains are so wired this way. So just double check when this happens, when it comes up and you have that intuitive drive to move forward and then all of a sudden it collapses. There's something there and something that you can learn and move through as well. Step number 4 is to keep your body clean. And I won't go into too much details around this because I'm not a health coach, but I do suggest when you are working with your intuition to keep your body as clean of toxic substances as possible, because you will actually have a clearer, more open channel to connect with all the energies that are outside of you. And I know that's sort of like a woo-woo thing, but it is really true. A lot of the times where I've taken breaks from alcohol or I, don't eat as much sugar for a period of time, that's usually when I am feeling more connected to my intuition. So again, consult your health coaches and those people that are in your lives before making any drastic changes, but do just have awareness around the toxins that you're putting into your body. A big reason for that, I also believe, is because when we are not bringing extra stuff in, we can know where our status quo is, where that center point is. And then when things kind of get off, you can feel when it's shifting a little bit quicker, a little bit more immediate compared to when there's lots of toxins in your body. It takes a little bit longer to feel when things are shifting on or off. So those are my tips for listening and tuning into your intuition, especially while in business, because as you dial this in, every single decision, whether you're hiring someone or working with a new client, or talking to a prospective client or figuring out what your new branding is, all of these pieces should be supported through that inner knowing and inner wisdom, and it'll make it so much more fun. You'll stand out so much more unique because you won't just be copying everyone else that you see. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one.